I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And this is...
G-Dragon Crooked.
Crooked.
For the big homie, Revo? Would you say Revo?
Where?
I don't remember what he said.
Revo. Looks like Revo to me.
I can't remember how he pronounced it before.
For timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up in Middle America with Vin and Sori. And, look, there are multiple ways to get your song reviewed, dear listener. My favorite way is the community option. $1 to get you in at Patreon, where you, dear listener, will get to meet the world-famous Zonia, the world-famous Pony of the Village, the world-famous Helen Dross. You might even be able to talk to the big homie BM fan, who's my buddy. And so you pull your points together, all that jazz. There's also different tiers. Like there's a $5 tier where you get to hear the first 40 seconds of the song from the metal band that yours truly and yours untruly are in, along with Jay and a couple other very important villagers. We're actually in a band. We're actually trying to write a song. Let's see how long that takes to do. So the first five, so the $5 tier gets you that. We've got an interview with the band Gwar. Gwar, that's at the $10 rate. They get the raw, uncut, unedited version. Mm-hmm. Everybody else in a week or so is going to get the edited version. So there are different things. You pull your points together, you can select what song you want. Now, if you're a filthy capitalist like Sori and you don't want to do that, you don't want to work with a community, you want to hop, skip, and jump in front of everybody, then...
Like Revo, he wanted to do a K-pop song. Which, whatever you request for us to listen to, we're going to listen to and react to. As long as it's a song, and not some filthy... We've had some suggestions before that we would disagree with. So as long as it's a song, and you want us to react to it.
It doesn't matter if we agree or disagree with it. But I mean, it's got to be... We're a music channel, for God's sake.
Right.
At some point, you have to draw the lines.
We got to draw some lines. Anyway, so... Yeah, if you want to do that, like, so that's what he did. But go ahead, I interrupted.
$125 at the gate gets you to the hop, skip, and jump in front of everybody. You do that 3 times, and you get reverted down to the $75 rate, which you will stay at into perpetuity. $75 will be the highest you'll pay after that, unless we lower it. And sometimes I make executive decisions, and I go, all right. Which she doesn't like because she's a filthy capitalist. G-Dragon Crooked, let's do it.
I want to move out of this apartment. Here we go.
Oh, we're fine. Nothing wrong with the apartment.
영원한 건 절대 없어. 결국엔 넌 변했지. 이유도 없어. 진심이 없어. 사랑 같은 소리 따윈 집어쳐. 오늘 밤은 삐딱하게 내버려둬. 어차피 난 혼자였지. 아무도 없어. 다름이 없어. 사탕 발린 위로 따윈 집어쳐. 오늘 밤은 삐딱하게 보라 소리쳐. 나는 현기증. 내 심심풀이 화풀이 상된 다른 연인들. 괜히 시비 걸어. 동네 양아치처럼 가끔 난 삐딱하게 다 때를 부러져라. 이 세상이란 영화 속 주인공은 너와 나. 갈 곳을 잃고 헤매는 외로운 저서만 나. 텅 빈 길거리를 가득 채운 기러기들. 내 맘과 달리 날씬 참 더럽게도 좋아. 너 하나 믿고 마냥 행복했었던 내가 우습게 남겨졌어. 특히 손가락 걸고 맹세했었던 네가 결국엔 영원한 건 절대 없어. 결국엔 넌 변했지. 이유도 없어. 진심이 없어. 사랑 같은 소리 따윈 집어쳐. 오늘 밤은 삐딱하게 내버려둬. 어차피 난 혼자였지. 아무도 없어. 다름이 없어. 사탕 발린 위로 따윈 집어쳐. 오늘 밤은 삐딱하게 짙은 나의 라인 긋고 스프레이 한 통 다 쓰고 가죽 바지 가죽 재킷 걸치고 의상 쓰고 아픔을 숨긴 채 앞으로 더 비뚤어질래 네가 미안해지게 하늘에다 침을 쏘아. 어색해진 내 말투 거칠어진 눈빛이 무서워 너 실은 나 왠지 두려워져 돌아가고 본데가 되어고 사랑하고 본데 상대여고 뭘 어쩌라고 돌이킬 수 없더라고 너 하나 믿고 마냥 행복했었던 내가 우습게 남겨졌어 슬피 손가락 걸고 맹세했었던 네가 결국엔 영원한 건 절대 없어 결국엔 넌 변했지 이유도 없어 진심이 없어 사랑 같은 소리 따윈 집어쳐 오늘 밤은 삐딱하게 내버려둬 어차피 난 혼자였지 아무도 없어 다 의미 없어 사탕 발린 위로 따윈 집어쳐 오늘 밤은 삐딱하게 오늘 밤은 나를 위해 아무 말 말아줄래요 원장에게 나 위할게 힘들 줄 몰랐는데 내가 보고 싶어 오늘 밤은 나를 위해 친구가 되어줄래요 좋은 날 아름다운 날 네가 그리운 날 오늘 밤은 삐딱하게
You know what's fun about this song? I don't know if the video is going to get blocked and we have to put in a lyric one or not, but we saw the official video and he changes into a bunch of different outfits. There's like some people that can basically, they can put on bunches of different things and look normal in all of the things that they're wearing.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm kind of like one of those people where I can like be very versatile with my style and it doesn't look weird. Like, you could be metal into this or that, you know what I mean? And so this would be a fun type of video to do, trying all these different styles. What?
That's what you got out of this video.
Oh, no. I mean, well, that is one thing I got out of the video, yes.
The
other thing I thought
very
is...
angry, he seemed to be very hurt.
Oh, he seemed to be very, very arrogant to me. At the beginning when he came and he pushed himself up against that girl rudely and her boyfriend was there, I was like, you wouldn't have done that to us. Did you see that part?
What do you mean? Little skinny Chinese dude?
They were walking on the sidewalk.
Yeah?
And right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then he bumps up against her right in the middle of them.
Yeah.
And he that guy pushes him up again. Gets pushed up against the wall, and the guy does nothing. I just can't imagine somebody pushing you up against the wall and you just like.
What do you mean? I'm a pacifist.
Doesn't mean a pacifist. You don't have to like murder them to push them back and be like, don't touch me. You know what I mean? And I don't see some guy ramming himself into me and you making no reaction.
Well, I mean, I would do what Jesus told me to do, inshallah. But you know,
Jesus put just enough force, right, to stop the situation.
You know, when I was a kid, this has nothing to do with the song, but when I was a kid, all of us believed that if you were Asian, you automatically knew karate and that you were dangerous.
That's so funny, really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
We automatically thought that you were dangerous and that that you already had a leg up, and we were always worried about the chop. So I got in an altercation with this Asian kid. I don't even think he was Chinese. I'm pretty sure he was Korean now that I think about it. And I went off on him because I felt like I had to get the jump on him because as soon as he hit me with that chop, I knew I was gonna be paralyzed. I sort of.
How old were you?
9, 10.
See, those, when you tell me stuff like that, all I can think about is Johan.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that Johan would tell himself.
I knew that this dude, he was gonna get me.
Johan's our 11-year-old.
Brother Kim. Brother Kim. Yeah. And I knew that Mr. Kim, he was gonna hurt
so
me.
Funny. And how did...
Like 2 pieces, da-da-da-da. Hard as I could. Because I was like, yeah, he chops me, I'm gonna be paralyzed. But I thought he was probably gonna get up from it anyway. Because he's, I keep saying he's Chinese, but he wasn't Chinese, he was Korean. Whatever.
But whatever.
What do you mean?
Well.
That was one of the few times when I was like in a fight
Like,
when
if a white person
I felt
says
legitimately scared.
He wasn't Chinese. He was Korean, but whatever. they'd be like, "Wow,
Maybe
this
well,
racist."
well, my folks haven't been, raising
I know.
hell on earth for
I
the past
understand.
500 years.
I agree.
There's
I
also
understand.
that.
I understand. And how did you look at this video and see him as a really hurt? I just see him like.
Well, I'm
there
looking at the lyrics.
He's shoving. Oh, I didn't see the lyrics.
Nothing ever lasts forever. In the end, you
peeing on a
change.
wall. He's.
Nothing lasts forever. In the end, you change. There is no reason, no sincerity to take away such a thing as love. Tonight I'll be crooked. Leave me alone. I was alone anyway. I have no one. Everything is meaningless. Take away the sugar-coated comfort. Tonight I'll be crooked. So that's the chorus.
Oh, okay.
And then he says, I scream and get dizzy. I vent out of boredom to other couples. I start fights for no reason. Like a town gangster. That's when.
So that must be here.
That's when he pushed your brother.
Yeah.
That dude is skinny as hell too. Look at him. They're both skinny. I think maybe a lot of people in Asian countries are skinny, huh? Because they, So
Other places have a lot of skinny
What
people.
did that guy say? Like, you're gonna feed these kids on water and grain? That was dumb as hell, my man. That was dumb as hell. I'm not saying you're dumb, but that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life, and I've heard a lot of doozies.
There was a couple doozies in there.
Well, the rest of them were horrifying, but
Yeah.
the water and grain thing, I had to keep myself together because it was a serious subject matter. My man said water and grain.
Grain.
like-
Most people say rice. No. Yes, I see what you're saying, man.
You know, there's that story with Muhammad's friends,
Oh no.
and they were all starving,
Yeah.
and they were about to die.
I am feeling I'm starving.
And it said like their bones would start to show and stuff. And then subhanAllah, they found a beached whale. And they were able to eat that beached whale for like a month. And then in the hadith it says that their bellies like flopped over their belt loops, basically, like they sustained themselves on this beached whale. So there are different, Allah has different ways of feeding the hungry.
When did that thing start to rot?
Well, it's also part of the miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What's wrong with it?
It was almost-
It's the freaking Arab Peninsula.
I'm
You
like,
think
maybe
a
his gut was swelling out for a
think a
different
whale
reason.
would randomly
Poison himself.
They saved some from Rasulullah. He enjoyed it. All right, back to your regular schedule. I don't know why. Like I'm all twisted up right now.
That's okay. I like it. Okay. Yeah.
So he's upset.
I see.
He's turned into
That's the other
this is
couple.
like complete and when I say teenage angst, I'm saying this seriously because we're about to enter that stage with our kids. But I have no one and everything is meaningless. It's like, bro, you're a giant star in wherever he's from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean you have no one? But this is what happens when you're young and you have that first significant breakup and all the rest of it. Everything is meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
Life is. I never really had like a significant. Well, I did have a significant breakup,
Yeah.
like when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
But I was the reason for the breakup.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have, and the person still wanted to be me. So I didn't really have this like, everything is meaningless. Da da da. The other breakup, which was an actual divorce, was horrible. But I had, it happened a couple years ago, so I had already seen a lot of life, and I had seen a lot of like, well, it could be worse. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So by that time, I had already had the experience. But if I would have went through the breakup with that person, let's say at 21, 22, I would have probably fallen into a bunch of like raw, nihilistic sort of everything is meaningless craziness.
I think that when, like, I had one significant breakup when I was a teenager, but again, it was the same situation. I was the one that left that relationship.
It wasn't the same situation. I mean, you left the relationship, but you didn't.
No, it wasn't the same situation. But I'm saying, it was the same as in I'm the one that left the relationship.
You were
just
the
like you left
breaker-upper.
that. Just like you left that relationship in
Right.
high school.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there was that, and then obviously with my divorce. But I did kind of feel like I don't think that I felt like that the whole world was full of bad people, namely men. So I did kind of get
Well, it's true. The world is full of bad men.
yes, but particularly so.
What do you mean?
I just felt like everybody. It was like, so one time we had, this was years ago. We had a video camera and a GPS, and the GPS was in the car, and like the income that my past relationship had, the income was not like super significant. So if we got something, like it needed to last. And so we had a GPS and we had a video camera. Well, for some reason we felt like we were pretty safe in the place we were living at, and we left those two things in the car. And somebody stole the GPS out of the car. And I was so frustrated about that, because we had literally just bought it and we got a really nice one because we wanted it to last forever. And then I just felt like that nobody took the video camera, actually, because I had it in the back seat and I left so much not trash, but stuff in the back seat that they didn't even see it. So that was kind of like, so instead of being just happy about that, I was really super angry about the GPS being stolen. And I was like, oh, this is so frustrating. And I remember feeling like it must be that guy, or it's that one, or that one. Like everybody looked like crooks to me. And so I think that like the same thing happened with that. Like I felt like, wow, that guy must be doing this. Like when I went through my divorce, I started feeling like everybody except for you must be doing something slimy behind their wife's back, you know?
Well, you didn't, because there was the B guy. You didn't think he was doing anything slimy. Oh, actually, forget it. Back to your regular scheduled program.
Oh, my word, I'm gonna rewind that and actually watch that part to watch as like the light turns on for you. Bing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah.
See, I never felt that way. I never felt like because my relationship ended, you know, it didn't go the way I wanted to, that every woman was a horrible, you know, whatever. But I think mine was a particularly different situation because she was a particularly troubled individual. And it's like the stuff that was going on, like to this day, I mean, people don't know, they'll never know, but like the stuff that was going on was, you know, extra. You know what I mean? It was
yeah. And you're so funny because like you just keep it to the chest, and like sometimes like her and I will be talking and she'll say something and I'm like, you what? But I act like I knew that. I'm like, I know. But inside I'm like, the fuck? He never told me that. But anyway.
Well, some of it is you just forget it because it happens so often, and then the other part of it is it's just, you know, like, I don't know. I spent like a decade and a half like covering and not talking about, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And
I always thought it was like the type O sort of dysfunction.
Yeah. You romanticize it. The thing is like, I would never ever tell anybody because they didn't care about her. You know what I mean? It's just, you just want to hear some gossip or some, you know, whatever. So I wasn't going to say anything to those people. You know what I mean? So, and I just got to have, and then, you know, I'm obviously not going to sit down and have a conversation with you about my ex and all the horrors that it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like in my mind, it's done, it's done.
I mean, I don't mind if you tell me all the horrors.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anyway.
I used to believe in you alone and I was happy, but like a joke, I'm left alone. You used to promise me with your pinky finger, but in the end, nothing ever lasts forever. Yikes.
That's true. That, like this age group, pinky promised me, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you know, it's I actually met my wife in high school, so my mom used to be like, both of our parents like, oh, you know, puppy love, blah, 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 and there was just like this condescending sort of dismissal of young love or whatever, and it's like, what does a person's age have to do with anything? Like, I absolutely loved her when I was, you know, 17, 18 years old. Like, so, but older people just tend to kind of dismiss, you know, and I'm like,
yeah. I
used to remember thinking, like, you were divorced. You never got married. Like, how are you going to tell us what love is? You know what I mean? And they were wrong. Like, and to this moment, like, I don't think it's right to invalidate young people's love. Like, they can, I believe they genuinely can feel it. And if you know, we hadn't made the advances that we've made in science, you know, people would be falling in love in a much younger age because you don't have that much time.
Yeah.
You know, in 1500s, people were getting married 14, 15 years old and had a little farm and all that shit. So
It's so funny because people didn't do that to me when I was 16 and
I think it's different with you because there were a different set of concerns. Right?
Well, I'm mainly talking about like the discussions with my mom. Like my mom, she didn't have like a bunch of like big giant concerns. Like everybody else had big giant concerns, and she was always saying, "Well, no, I don't think it's, you know." But she absolutely validated my 16-year-old heart.
Yeah, and I think that's good. And I think it's dangerous when parents or older people, you know, dismiss it, because then you're no longer seen as an ally, and then there are certain decisions that get made that you are going to get left out of.
I am not my mother.
No, you are not.
Oh, I said one thing today that I was like, I shouldn't have said that though.
Who'd you say it to?
The one that was terrorizing the kids in the neighborhood. When I said if a girl came around with you, I would tell her, get away from him.
Oh, no, I tell them that all the time.
Yes, I know, but I think that if you're saying it and I'm saying it, then he's probably going to be like, well, if I get in a relationship, I'm not going to bring the girl around, so we will have no clue.
He still would.
He
would. Because he wants my approval.
Okay.
He wouldn't do that. Because then the other thing is, I get it to be a big status thing for him.
Right.
That he is, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
he still would. And I would still tell her to run like hell.
She's not going to listen, though. He's too pretty.
Nope, he's too pretty. And he's too...
She's going to think we misunderstand him.
100%. And all that's going to do is it's going to make her, you know, and then, don't worry, sweetheart. We've got a song for you after a couple of months with this fucking guy.
Stop!
We've got the song for you. What are you... No. How many no's was in that video?
A lot! It was so funny. I seriously have a cramp.
He was like, my son might see this. Oh, I didn't try to kill you.
But other people's kids, water and grain. Okay,
Nobody knows what we're talking about except for 138 horrified people. All right. What do you give it?
It was fun though. I didn't realize that.
It's a solid 7.5 for me.
It was fun, so I think I'm gonna go with like an 8.
I liked how this song triggered a bunch of subliminals and a bunch of disconnected conversation points.
I know. It's been a fun review.
It's been a very fun review.
Thank you for that, Revo. You guys, I'm 6 months pregnant now.
You know what I just figured out? What? Revo is over backwards. And didn't I say that in the last review?
No, I don't remember that.
Revo is over
You're
backwards.
right, it is.
So there you go. I'm on to your game, bitch.
Better not be over.
Vin out.
Oreo.
Gone.
이유도 없어 진심이 없어 사랑 같은 소리 따윈 집어쳐 오늘 밤은 삐딱하게 내버려둬 어차피 난 혼자였지 아무도 없어 다름이 없어 사탕 발린 위로 따윈 집어쳐 오늘 밤은 삐딱하게 긋고 스프레이 한 통 다 쓰고 가죽 바지 가죽 재킷 걸치고 의상 쓰고 아픔을 숨긴 채 앞으로 더 비뚤어질래 네가 미안해지게 하늘에다 침을 소박해진 내 말소와 거칠어진 눈빛이 무서워 너 실은 나 왠지 두려워져 돌아가고픈 내가 되었고 사랑하고픈 내 상대였고 멀어져라고 돌이킬 수 없더라고 너 하나 믿고 마냥 행복했었던 내가 우습게 남겨졌어 슬피 손가락 걸고 맹세했었던 네가 결국엔 영원한 건 절대 없어 결국엔 넌 변했지 이유도 없어 진심이 없어 사랑 같은 소리 따윈 집어쳐 오늘 밤은 삐딱하게 내버려둬 어차피 난 혼자였지 아무도 없어 다름이 없어 사탕 발린 위로 따윈 집어쳐 오늘 밤은 삐딱하게 오늘 밤은 나를 위해 아무 말 말아줘 영원한 건 절대 없어 결국엔 넌 변했지 이유도 없어 진심이 없어